an invisible bind-off for double knitting. Hi everyone, my name is Norman and today I want to show you how to bind off double knitting the invisible way. This is quite the smart and stretchy way to cast off double knitting, but you will need a tapestry needle and two double pointed or circular needles. Let's show you how to do it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to slip all stitches in color A and B each to a separate needle. You can use double pointed needles or circular needles, whatever you have at home and is large enough to accommodate all your stitches. It doesn't have to be the exact same size, but it needs to be double pointed or circular needles. And then just slip all stitches in color A to the front needle and all stitches in color B to the back needle. Just slip them point to point without twisting. Slip them. So basically what you're doing is you are separating the layers. So I slipped all stitches to a spare needle. This is what it looks like now. And now you need to purl across one row using color B, so the yarn in the back. So pick that up and purl one row across, just regular purl stitches. And you have to do that because we will be closing the seam in color A. And you don't want the backside to be one row shorter, so purl across one row in color B. So I finished purling across the back row, and now you need to slide your work back to the right end of your needle. Braid yarn A and leave a tail that is around 4 times as long as your project is wide, and thread it on a tapestry needle. And now we need to graft stitches using the Kitchener stitch. So if you already know how to do that, this will be very familiar. There are 2 preparation stitches. First, you need to go through the first stitch on the front needle, purlwise. So insert from right to left. Pull the yarn all the way through. And then you need to go through the first stitch on the back needle knitwise, so from left to right. You always need to go below the needle. And now we can start with the actual repeat. Insert your tapestry needle into the first stitch on the first needle knitwise and drop that stitch off the needle. And then you need to go into the second stitch on the first needle purlwise. Pull the yarn all the way through. Then move onwards to the back needle and go through the first stitch purlwise and drop that stitch off the needle. And then go through the next stitch knitwise. And that was already the first repeat. Let's do it one more time. So drop the first stitch on the first needle knitwise and go through the next stitch purlwise. Then move onwards to the back needle. Purlwise. Hold tight. And go through the next stitch knitwise. And one more time, so it's always the same. So drop the first stitch knitwise and go through the second stitch purlwise. And on the back needle, it's exactly the other way around. So you drop purlwise and you go through the second stitch knitwise, and as you can see, I pull on the tail a little bit after each stitch. Don't pull too hard, just a little bit. I mean, you want to graft regular stitches and not tie knots. Also, make sure that you don't accidentally catch the yarn here on top of the needles as you move back and forth. So the yarn should never be here on top. So always make sure that you go below it. And one more thing, you can actually combine the two steps in one, so you don't really have to pull tight after every stitch, but you can always combine the two stitches on one needle like that. So try to maintain an even tension so you create a really nice and even edge. There are only 2 stitches left on my needles here, and since there is no next stitch here on the front or back needle, you just pick up that stitch knitwise and go directly into that stitch purlwise and close the seam. This is what it looks like now. I think it's very pretty and totally invisible, and it will match your invisible cast on. If you notice that some of the grafted stitches are still a bit loose, you can go in with your tapestry needle and pull out any excess to the sides like this. So just move from one stitch to the next and pull it out to adjust your tension. Anyway, that's how to do the invisible binder for double knitting. Please like this video if you enjoyed watching, comment with your questions, and of course consider subscribing to my channel in case you don't want to miss any new videos. Happy knitting!